Billionaire Elon Musk delivered a virtual address over the weekend. This is at a rally for Germany's far-right AfD party. And during that speech, Musk urged the crowd to move beyond their country's past.
I think there's frankly, too much of a focus on past guilt, and we need to move beyond that.
Those comments come as campaigning is underway for next month's general election in Germany. The European Union's largest economy was thrown into political uncertainty after Chancellor Olaf Scholz lost a vote of confidence back in December. Joining us now to discuss this is Max Bergmann. He is the director of the Europe, Russia and Eurasia Program, as well as the Stuart Center at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, also known as the CSIS. Great to have you with us on this topic. You know, folks in the U.S. should know what happens in Germany has an impact here in the States. But help us understand the significance of this election, not just for the U.S., but for Europe as well.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me. This is an incredibly significant election in Germany and for Europe as well. Germany has had a coalition government over the last 4 years that, frankly, hasn't worked very well. It's broken down, and their economy is really struggling. And Germany is the largest country in Europe. It has the largest economy, and so goes Germany, so goes Europe. So this election, I think, is a real opportunity to have a new stable government that can perhaps chart a new economic course for Germany, which will really help Europe and will be important, I think, also for the United States, and also to enable more investment in defense, which is critical, not just in Germany, but across Europe. So it's a really critical election.
Which issues, though, underpin what Germans are feeling and basically are voting on? You know, why did Olaf Scholz lose that vote of confidence? And is there, as we've seen in the U.S. and as we've seen in some European countries, kind of an anti-immigrant, anti-migrant sentiment because people have these local economic concerns?
Yeah, well, it's not all that dissimilar than the U.S. Olaf Scholz, the current German chancellor, the governing coalition broke down over a fight over the budget. In Germany has a constitutional amendment that requires a balanced budget. They were trying to find ways around it. The Constitutional Court said they couldn't do the spending on energy and other issues that they needed to do. And that led to paralysis in the government. And so what we have in Germany is actually very low public debt, unlike us in the United States, where we have high debt ratios. Germany has very low public debt, but an inability to invest. And that has led to stagnant economic growth. So that's the main issue. And then, of course, immigration has been a major topic here in Germany. It's led to the rise of the far-right AfD party, which you showed Elon Musk speaking to. And so how to tackle immigration is a major issue in Germany and across Europe, similar to the United States. And so those are mainly the two top issues that voters are thinking about right now.
And Germany is considered the engine economically of Europe as its largest economy. So what is the likely outcome then of this election?
So the likely outcome is the conservative Friedrich Merz, who comes from the same party of former German Chancellor Angela Merkel, the CDU, is likely to win this election. But then in the way German politics work is he's going to have to form a coalition, a partnership with another party, and that's likely going to be one of the parties on the center left. Either the SPD, which is the traditional kind of labor-focused party, think sort of Scranton, Joe Biden Democrats, or the Green Party, which is probably the more progressive side in some ways, but also very hawkish on Ukraine. And so that will likely be the governing coalition. And then the question is, are they going to reform this constitutional amendment that prevents Germany from investing and really growing their economy? And I think that's the big question, because Friedrich Merz from the Conservatives doesn't really want to do that, but he may be forced to really get Germany going. And if Germany's economy starts growing, then Europe's going to start growing. And I think it will have a potentially transformative effect for the entire European Union.
A significant moment for Germany. Max Bergmann, thanks for helping us understand it all as the sun rises there in Washington.
Thanks for having me.